Hi everyone. So I thought with the release of the SadRobot 1 kit, I would release a tutorial on how to put it together. So here's all our pieces in front of us that you should receive in the kit. And it's all been labelled. You've got your front piece here for the LCD screen to sit into. You've got your two side pieces which the arms also attach into. You have your top which the Arduino Nano fits into and gives you access to the USB port. You have your legs with treads and the inner pieces. You have your vibration sensor, all your cables and your 5-volt DC boost component that we've put together for you. Your LCD holder and a big bunch of screws and nuts. So let's get started, make ourselves a little bit of room. And I think what we'll do first is just put together the legs. So you'll see there's two hex holes in the top of the foot, and that's to push the nuts all the way to the bottom so that you can put your base plate on and then your tread on top of that. So a couple of tools that I find are very useful: a pair of tweezers, a couple of screwdrivers. So this one I particularly like because it fits quite nicely to be able to put the nuts into the foot. So as an example, yep, we just pop the nut into there, push it all the way to the bottom. Grab your second nut. And the other tool, a hammer. Now this is the smallest one I've got. You could definitely get away with a smaller one, but it just makes it useful to drive the nuts down. Now I get in trouble for doing this on the table, so I'll get myself something off screen to hammer it in. Okay, that's better. Because the hex channel that goes down to the bottom, it is a tight fit, so you just may need to tap it with a hammer to get through. Okay, now the base plate which sits on top of that, it takes two nuts into the top here. Sometimes these are a little bit tricky to get in. We'll just line up the holes there, and then grab one of your 12mm screws. And just screw through until you feel the nut engage and it become tight. Now if you end up just pushing the nut back up the channel while you're doing this, sometimes I find it's helpful just to kind of hold the nut in place until the screw engages into the thread. So now we've got our base plate on, and then we'll just put our tread on. So the larger part of the tread is the heel of the foot. And then we grab two little 8mm screws. And if you've got awkward fingers like mine, Might just take a little minute to get on. And then just screw those in. Doesn't have to be super tight. The plastic actually, if you were to just keep driving these screws, the plastic will break. So just make sure it's firm but not overly driven. Otherwise you'll start to see the plastic deform. Then on the top just goes the top plate. And there you have one leg. Now, I'll just quickly do the other one. And there we have 2 legs. So next will be the base plate that will pop on. And I've just realized in our first shot there we didn't actually have the base plate. So here's the base plate. It just sits on the top of the legs with the legs both pointed slightly outwards. That's the stance of the robot. So these just pop in like that, and then you just need to put 2 screws in the bottom here and screw in 2 16mm screws from the top. It's a little bit tricky. So I find just holding with my finger is the easiest way, just until the screw engages into the thread. Once it starts to engage, then you can slow down and just let it gently tighten. Because what you'll find is the screw will sit and tighten in this space, but if driven too quickly, it'll just cause the nut to spin, and you won't get the right tightness. So another nut at the front. There we go, that's one leg in. And then just the last nut to go. as you can see, I've just missed that one. So if that happens, you won't, you'll just be driving the nut round and round. So I'm just gonna bring it back out again and just try again. Just flip the nut over. Yep, and once you feel it caught, then you'll be good to go. So there we go. We'll have 2 legs into the base plate. Okay, next we'll work on the arms and the cabling for the batteries.